Si Pangulong Duterte na humarap sa Senado, meron bang criminal liability sa pag-amin niya na merong DDS at nag-uutos siya na pumatay sa mga pulis, including yung PNP chiefs nung araw? And normally, sa isang murder or homicide case, kailangan natin ng katawan o yung tinatawag ng mga legal eagles na corpus delicti. Yung para ma-prove mo na merong namatay na tao, kailangan mo ng body of the crime. And under the present circumstances, of course, lahat naman ng mga complainants, yung 2,000 na namatay sa Davao, walang direct link kay Duterte except yung pag-amin niya sa Senado, and this is under oath. Ang hindi niya siguro naisip ay meron tayong Republic Act 9851. At ito ay naipasa noong 2008. And this is known as the Philippine Act on Crimes Against International Humanitarian Law, Genocide, and Other Crimes Against Humanity. O tinatawag nilang Crimes Against Humanity Law. And itong law na ito, covered itong war on drugs during his administration. And this is within the ambit of Section 6 of that law, which includes willful killing as a punishable offense. Ang tanong, kailangan ba ng katawan ng isang namatay para ma-prove itong crime na ito? Ang sagot, hindi po kailangan na maglabas ka ng katawan ng namatay na tao upang ma-prosecute ka under this law. Again, I repeat, this is crime against humanity. And a crime against humanity is defined as an act committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack directed against any civilian population with knowledge of the attack. So, very clear naman na yung mga suspected drug dealers and users are part of the civilian population. And Duterte had publicly declared his war on drugs, no? Maraming beses siya nag-appear sa telebisyon, sa radyo. Sinasabi niya, war on drugs. Sinasabi rin niyang mga police, you go after them. Kaya nga nagkaroon tayo ng Operation Tokhang. And dito, sinasabi ni Duterte sa Senado na inadmit niya na yung sa police, meron siyang directive na bigyan ng baril o kaya i-induce yung mga suspects to fight para mapatay yung mga hinuhuli nilang drug violator. And this is considered as deliberate and willful killing under Section 6 ng Republic Act 9851. Meron din tayong Section 8 of 9851 that in addition to the existing provisions of the Philippine laws, yung principles of criminal responsibility shall apply to him. Doon sa Section 8, sabi niya, a person shall be criminally liable as principal for a crime defined and penalized if he or she, number one, commits such a crime, whether as an individual, rather, jointly with another, or through another person, regardless of whether that other person is criminally responsible. So, directing a person to commit a crime, ayan, pasok si former President John. Number two, orders, solicits, or induces the commission of a crime which in fact occurs, meaning na-consummate yung crime, or even if it was attempted, then a crime has been committed. Then number three, in any other way contributes to the commission or attempted commission of such crime by a group of persons acting with a common purpose. Yung pagbigay ng reward, no? Yung pagbigay ng logistical support, covered ng Section 8 na yan. Kailangan ba intentional? Of course, it shall be intentional. At ang purpose nito, yung aim of furthering the criminal activity or criminal purpose of the group. At ang purpose, of course, is the commission of the crime against humanity. At the very least, kailangan ma-charge ng Department of Justice ang ating former president kasi ito nga ay punishable under that Republic Act 9851, no? And sabi na pa ng Section 9 of RA 9851, the act shall apply equally to all persons without any distinction based on official capacity in particular, no? So regardless of capacity, whether sarhento ka lang, whether presidente ka, whether pulis ka, then it applies to the person who commits the crime. Siyempre, sabi ng mga nagdi-depend sa dating Pangulo, joke lang. Pero you must remember that under oath yan. And palagi naman nating alam at palagi naman niya sinasabi na he was a former city prosecutor, assistant prosecutor. So magiging aggravating pa yung kanyang pagka-prosecutor, pagka-abogado, kasi alam niya na he was under oath when he made these extrajudicial confessions. And are the extrajudicial confessions in the halls of Senate admissible in evidence? The answer is yes, because they are under oath. Wala naman siyang abogado at that time. Kaya lang, sinasabi nga natin, pinagmamalaki niya na abogado siya, so hindi niya kailangan ng isang lawyer of his own choice. At that time, he made the admissions. And siguro, sumugal lang siya. Of course, this is our speculation. Nagsugal siya na aminin na niya doon at ma-charge na siya sa Philippine courts para hindi na siya maaresto ng ICC. So, pwedeng ganun din. Strategy lang yan para kung meron mang charges, dito sa Pilipinas may pa-file at hindi sa ICC.